by MK Chief Whip, Colleen Makhubela. Good to have you, and thank you very much for your time. Yours, of course, is to look at who goes to Parliament. Suppose the other issues of suspensions and whatever else are left to the party to deal with. But did the latest revelations in a presser by Floyd Shivambu have any bearing on him not making it on that list?
First, good afternoon, and thank you for having me, and good afternoon to the listeners. Let me start by sending our sincere condolences to all the families and friends who've lost loved ones in the Eastern Cape devastation. It is indeed a national crisis which impacts all of us. Coming back to your question, we are very excited as MK Party to be making this announcement. Of course, whenever new members are coming in, it means we're strengthening new perspective, new experiences, qualifications are coming in to assist the caucus to achieve its mandate, to push the people's mandate and push our path to power. The decision of Comrade Floyd Shivambu, I can't talk much on that because that is handled by the party and the national officials. They said, let me start by saying we had an overwhelming interest of people that really wanted to come to MK Party and come to Parliament, join us and work with us in liberating the country. And the national officials had that duty to sit and assess, on various aspects who will best be suited to represent us. And I'm sure Floyd's name came up as it was announced previously, but the final list that was submitted to myself to then process with Parliament is the one that you have in front of you. Wonderful, credible individuals from various backgrounds, young, old, women, some grassroots mobilizers, activists. So they are coming to enrich us in many ways.
Yeah, take us through that process. I mean, I'm led to believe that the IEC, you could correct me here, would have opened up the first window for candidate list modification for the June 6 to June 12 period. And okay, now it's way past that particular period. So it means there was a lot of back and forth that would have happened within your own party not to meet that particular time period.
No, indeed, we met it. That's why we're having our members being sworn in next week. So we met that first 7 days window, and the maybe delay with our party swearing in is that we had to review our list. With the passage of time, you would know other people move on, other people get other opportunities, or they lose interest for whatever reason. So we had to then review the list, meaning change it, bring people on top that were at the bottom, or new members that are coming in. So that does take a little bit of time. But in terms of getting the final list from the party itself, no, it happened within the specified period. Right. We did not miss that deadline at all.
And where you are sitting now, is this current list still up for review, or this now is the final list? There is no anticipation of further changes?
No, there's no anticipation of further changes, as I have been given this list by our party leader who sits in the national officials. And of course, members in future might decide, I don't want to do this, or the circumstances in their lives change, or health, or whatever. So there's always that opportunity all the time where people move in and out. But as far as we're concerned in filling these vacancies, this is the final list that the party has endorsed. And right now we're just excited and looking forward to bringing them into the caucus and making sure that we hold the GNU to account. And first and foremost, they must account for what's happening in the Eastern Cape and the lives that have been lost and the negligence that has been there with regards to the dam, unsafe communities, joblessness, many things that are happening that we believe the nation should be focusing on instead of the national dialogue. How do we close the gap of haves and have-nots? How do we get the land back without compensation? How do we include women and youth in the economic streams of South Africa? That's the dialogue that we should be having as a country.
And you're confident that within your caucus, I mean, I don't know what the situation is within the caucus itself, but we're hearing that within the party there could have been others who would have wanted him to be included in that list. Are there divisions within the caucus itself in Parliament on whether he would add value by being on the list?
Look, when he was announced first to be coming into the caucus, of course, he would have brought wealth of experience, and that would have been welcome. And yes, we're looking forward to having him as a member, should the party, bring him in. But the caucus is not divided. The caucus always waits for the official party position, before, of course, we can then adjust ourselves in terms of how do we accommodate this one, where do we put him in a committee, where will they serve best, etc. So, no, it didn't disturb us or divide us in any way. Yeah, we had it on the announcement, and then when the official list came, he's not on the list, and, there are reasons behind that. We move on.
Yeah. I mean, one particular name, I might not be familiar with all 9, but
yes.
Nkosazana Shenzi is one particular name that jumped out for me because he's been a staunch supporter of President Jacob Zuma from his time within the ANC, broke away from the ANC, would have been part of a formation called Radical Economic Transformation within the ANC or outside the ANC, doesn't matter how you look at it. So he's been around from President Jacob Zuma for the longest time. He is now going to the National Assembly. What does he bring into this?
Precisely what you said. His wealth of experience, especially when it comes to radical economic transformation. He's a serious activist, and we believe that he will strengthen us in our grassroots mobilization, number one, in how we advance the policies and the kind of debates that we need to have on radical economic transformation, because that's what is required now. If we don't change the economy, we can't create jobs, we can't close the crisis of poverty, unemployment, joblessness. So he comes at the right time, where we have to really sharply challenge the GNU on their ineffectiveness and inability to do anything for young people in South Africa. And we want that to come out very, very strongly, especially in the committees that deal with all of this economic policies, job creation, etc. We're looking forward to having him. He understands very well the policies, the people's mandate, the constitution of MK Party. So he'll be an asset, even in training and bringing up the young MPs, because we also have those that are coming in fresh. They haven't been here. They have not been, as politically active as some would have. So that will be their role as well, to nurture, what do you call it? They train and teach the young, mentor, this is the word that I'm looking for, the young ones as well. So yeah, he will be very instrumental in our caucus.
Are all the vacancies, so to speak, because this is brought up by the fact that there were vacancies, are they all filled right now? Is there a possibility of another redeployment of a member who is in caucus?
All the vacancies are filled right now. We've had other members that, have expressed interest perhaps to serve at provincial level. They would like to go there for various reasons. You need to understand, especially for those that have families, it's a huge sacrifice for people to leave home every week. You're in Cape Town, you only come home maybe a day or two, and you've got family, etc. You've got party work and all of that. Some people may express from time to time to say, I would rather be in the province closer to home because situations that I'm facing maybe requires that. And that can happen, and we look at that from case to case. For now, all the vacancies are filled. All the members, the 58 members of the caucus by Wednesday, 12:30, would now be members of parliament. And in the future, whoever feels they want to, serve somewhere else better, that movement will always happen. It's fluid. Caucus is fluid. Yeah. It cannot be rigid.
One looks at your process and they would maybe ask, how does it happen? Other parties maybe have got a tried and tested method of how you make it up to the list. Yeah. It's up for debate whether that process is interfered with or not. Yeah. And whether in the MK party you're just shot up because of your proximity to whoever is in power. Yeah.
Not necessarily. You're right. Other parties have different methods. They will just call out to say, come, those that are interested, or they take from their branches, from their structures, etc. With MK Party being a unique and new party, it has been different. It's those that, of course, have been with the party since its formation, that were President Zuma and the leadership collective, so they were fit to serve at that level. Those like us who came from parties, other different parties that were part of the unifying of the African parties, and President Zuma then selected out of that crop those that he felt will serve better. Amin Kokas, Shiluva Baloyi serving in the party. We've got others like Adil Nchabeling, they're also serving in the caucus, and others that are coming here, even from different unions, etc., that support. And of course, there are those that would express interest as well, as I've said, you know, to say, look, I'm coming from this community, or I'm a leader here, I would like to serve. And the officials look at various things on how do we get the best representation, you know, for South Africa represented in the caucus. If you look at youth, you look at women, you look at race, different aspects, religion, chiefs, traditional leaders, etc. Everybody should find expression in our caucus because we want to be as representative as we can. So that's how I believe that the national officials look at whoever is interested in.
Colleen Makubela, appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming. Chief Whip of Umkhonto weSizwe Party, on the completion of the process of selecting the 9 candidates who will be filling those vacant posts at the National Assembly, saying, well, as far as they're concerned, these are the names submitted to them by the mother body, the party. That's the decision they've taken, and Floyd Shivambu is not on that list, as, of course, being expressed. The Newsfeed PM continues shortly.